Okay, let's see if we can get everything set up nice and smooth. Hopefully I can get my YouTube chat working. I remember last time I was streaming, my YouTube chat wasn't working all too well, and hopefully my audio is good. I guess I should share the link of the stream. How do I even do this, man? I barely stream, so I'm not the greatest with this. Okay, let's copy this. And let's go ahead and go to Twitter. And I will say live now, live. What should I say? Now live on YouTube. I'll put the link. We'll be discussing restricted. Can I not spell? Restricted list. We'll be discussing restricted list with viewers. Tweet. Okay. So we will see how it goes. The plan is for this. So just so people know, if you're watching the VOD for this or anything like that, this is a new idea. I'm literally doing it just today, and it was really short notice. Didn't really do any promotion for it, but this is Big News TV. Shout out to Big News Morgans. But essentially what this is going to be about is it's going to be a talk show type of format where I pick a specific topic and I talk about it, but then also invite the viewers in the chat to also come online on Discord if they're comfortable, and then they can give their take as well. We can talk about it back and forth, and then obviously chat can agree or disagree, and then we'll try to get more people in. So I don't know how many viewers we're gonna have. I don't know how many people we're gonna have joining that want to talk, but that's no problem because I have no problem just rambling and talking on. We'll do it for about an hour or so, 45 minutes to an hour. If we get enough people that are interested, and I want to run it a little bit longer, we could do that. But I also don't want that if it's not that, what's the word? If it's not that attractive to people, or people aren't that interesting, or are not that interested rather, then, you know, I don't want to make them suffer through me just rambling for hours, right? So yeah, I see Tosu in the chat. I got my chat open. I'm a huge fan of you. Finally, I see you live. Hey, how's it going, Tosu? Thank you. Thank you so much for that nice comment. I really appreciate that. That means a lot. That means a lot. So, I guess what I want to talk about first, what I kind of want to go over just to get started, in terms of things that we will be discussing today, I definitely want to be talking about the restricted list, right? Hopefully I can get some of you guys in here and we can discuss your thoughts on the list. I also want to check out the Reddit, Reddit One Piece TCG, because people had some pretty interesting takes on the Reddit as well, so we can read through that, discuss about those as well. We can also talk about, the new cards that were revealed, right? We have, we got, obviously the new manga rare. We have Kaido here. We have Kid. I want to talk a little bit about that. But yeah, it should be interesting. It should be interesting. Where is the thread? Where is the thread? This meme is actually hilarious, by the way. Red players, when their OP deck no longer has every advantage possible. Bro, this was hilarious when I seen this shit. Yo, Crispo, what's good, Crispo? Crispo says, OPO5 leaders revealed and still no Blackbeard leader? Really? I know. I completely agree. It's absolutely insane. I don't know. It's so funny because I remember when I made a video with Chaz, I believe for the OPO2 tier list. Was it OPO2 or OPO3 tier list? One of them. I think it was OPO3. And he was kind of memeing and saying like, oh, you know, you're not going to get Blackbeard till OPO7. And I was like, no, don't put that into the universe. But it looks like we actually won't get Blackbeard until OP07. That's actually insane. All I know is, and all you guys should know is, once Blackbeard comes out, I don't care. He could be the most dookie of dookie. He could be worse than Shanks. He could be worse than Uta or Yuta, however you pronounce her name. He could be terrible. I don't care. That is my main deck forever until another Blackbeard leader is printed, and then I'll probably play that. I'm gonna be a Blackbeard only guy, all right? And so, as a result, if it turns out being tier 0 most broken shit ever, just know that my name is literally Blackbeard TCG from day one. And don't be like, oh, Ryan, you're playing the meta now? What happened? You know, all I'm saying is, if the meta comes to me, it is what it is. But I completely agree with you, Crispo. Tosu says, in Europe, there's a tournament ongoing with 1,024 players. Top 8 are 6 Zoros and 2 Whitebeards. No way. Are you serious? Well, I mean, it's a good thing. Let's talk about it. Also, Spiffy Bard, welcome to the stream. Spiffy Bard with the first question in the chat, saying, do you think that Dadan should have been hit? Awesome. So we could talk about this topic. If anybody is interested and wants to give a take as well, please feel free. You can let me know your Discord. I will add you on Discord, and we can hop into a chat and we can hear your take. So, Spiffy Bard, that's a great question, right? That's a great question. So, let's go ahead and pull up Curly Dadan here. So, it's interesting, right? Because a lot of people, I've been seeing it on the Reddit and all of those things. A lot of people have been saying, like, yeah, like, Curly Dadan needs to be hit as well. I see some people memeing. I'm not sure if they're memeing or if they're actually serious. But I see people saying, like, Nami and Makino need to be hit. I mean, I can understand that these cards are very annoying, but I mean, like, so here, I'll put it this way. So first, let me answer your question. In my opinion, do I think Dadan should have been hit? I don't want to say it should have been hit, but if it was, I wouldn't be upset and I could see why it happened, but I don't think we need to make these drastic measures now. So why do I say that? The reason why I say that is because obviously we know that this list hurts Ace more than anything. It hurts Ace. I do think Ace is still playable in some aspects, but Ace was never like one of the god decks anyways. So I do think that it hurts Ace the most. Then obviously it hurts Whitebeard. Ace kind of took like residual damage. It hurts Whitebeard, but it doesn't really hurt Zoro all that much, especially as we've seen that there was a Zoro player that was not playing literally any of the cards that were hit on the list, and he came in first place. This was Deep Patel's list in the North American Regionals, first place play TCG with 500 players. So, I mean, that alone shows that Zoro was literally untouched by this list, which is kind of funny when you consider that the list kept saying Zoro and Edward Newgate, but then none of these cards actually hurt Edward Newgate. So, sorry, none of these cards actually hit Zoro. And so that leads to the next question, what would actually hit Zoro, right? And so, obviously, there is Curly Dadan, there's Izo, there's Buggy if they play that version. Of course, there's Nami's and all of those things. And that's where the conversation starts to get interesting. So for me, I could see Curly Dadan possibly being hit because it would also hit Law as well, which is another very strong top tier deck. Curly Dadan allowing you to pull your Sunny Kuns, allowing you to pull Nami, allowing you to pull Izo, allowing you to pull Magra, allowing you to pull Makino, right? Like, it's just so good because red as itself as a color has so many low cost tools that it could use that Curly Dadan as a result becomes very powerful. Now, if it does get hit, a better question on, rather than saying if it should have been hit or if it shouldn't, or a way to like kind of rationalize it is, if it was to get hit, how much do you hit it to? Like, do you limit it to 1? Because at that point, a searcher, a 2-cost searcher at 1, like, I feel like that's terrible. Like, what's the point of that, right? If you hit it to 2, like, you can play 2 copies, okay, right? Like, you know, it's still fine. As of right now, I think it's fine. We'll have to see. Again, Zoro decks are evolving. Law decks are going to keep evolving as well. Obviously, both versions are going to be playing 4 copies of Curly. But with that being said, I think them not hitting it right now is okay, in my opinion. But we'll have to see how it goes. I also like that they are taking their time and they're not hitting too many things all at once instantly. And just completely drastically changing the meta. They're kind of being cautious with it, which is something that I really like. I wish I could pronounce your name, JJJBJBBN. Yeah, I'm just going to call you JB, homie. JB or JJ. Hey, definitely a fan of the channel. You helped me get started with Smoker. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that, JJ. Really appreciate that. I hope you're enjoying the game. How are you enjoying One Piece? Obviously, playing Smoker, you got into the game in set 2. How did you enjoy set 2? How are you enjoying set 3? And I'm curious, what are your thoughts on this meta as well? And again, if anybody is interested and wants to hop on Discord chat as well and kind of give your opinions to the chat and maybe give a shout outs to your locals and all of those things, please let me know. We can have some fun. So then JJ also said, so regards to the follow of the restricted list, what form do you think Lucci Black decks will have to take to remain competitive in a likely hyper aggro Zoro and Katakuri meta? Okay, this is a fantastic question, JJ. I love this question. So let's go ahead and pull up Lucci here. So the reason why I love this question so much is because, as you know, if you watch some of my other videos, I've been dabbling in some Rob Lucci. I think that this leader is so much fun to play. Now, it's funny because somebody made a comment on the Reddit, and I also think that that comment on the Reddit is actually very true, because they said that Lucci also got nerfed. Because Lucci had a very good matchup against Whitebeard, and so with less Whitebeard decks and more Zoro decks, Lucci got nerfed because Lucci has a bad matchup against Zoro. I mean, everything loses to Zoro, but I mean, like, it's really difficult for Rob Lucci to deal with Zoro. And so because of that, Lucci actually got nerfed with this red restricted list as well. And also, how crazy is it, man? Like, it just shows that out of the 5 cards that are on the restricted and banned list, 4 of them are red. Absolutely insane, man. Like, they really messed up when it came to red as a color. It's crazy how strong they literally had their favorite and they just went with it. It's absolutely insane. But to continue to answer your question, JJ. So, what form do you think Lucci/Black decks will have to take to remain competitive in a likely heavy hyper aggro Zoro? So, yeah, that part's really interesting. And shout outs to the homies at Team Seafood King, because obviously those are some of the best players over in Asia, arguably some in the world. You can go that far. That's how good they are. And you know, I was discussing with them. They have their stream over on Twitch, as well as talking to other people on Discord, on YouTube, and me also piloting Lucci himself. I think that the optimal way of playing Lucci going forward, and it kind of has been as well before, is specifically the air door engine. I think that is going to be the way to go. Now, there may be better, what? Is it not called air door? Air. Oh yeah, it is air door. Here. It's very interesting because, you know, a lot of people have been playing the Navy version, and although the Navy version kind of makes the Whitebeard matchup easier, Lucci already did good against Whitebeard, and so it's like kind of like a win more in that sense. And so because we're seeing so much Zoro, the Navy version, in my opinion, is going to struggle with it. Like, because the thing is, you're going to be able to pop things on the field and all of those things, right? But then you have to keep discarding resources, right? Whether you're using Kobe, right? You have your Sakazuki. Sure, you can run Garp as well and all of those things, but those are resources. That takes time. And as we all know, Zoro can just vomit shit on the field. Law can just vomit shit on the field, and so it's hard to keep up. And so because of that, I definitely think the air door version is going to be ideal, because that's going to allow you to put immense pressure on your opponent with things like Kaku, being able to play him, being able to pop something, get a 6k body on board, hopefully start to be able to clear their board that way. You also have access to Wanze as well, who I think we will start seeing 4 copies of being played. I've been playing 4 copies in my build as well. I think that this is pretty good with 1 Dawn attached, 5k power, which is pretty solid. But on play, you can KO one of your opponent's characters at the cost of 1 or less. This should definitely be helpful in those types of matchups. It could also be really nice if your Bluno, who's another card I want to talk about, ends up getting hit. If Bluno gets hit, Bruno, Bluno. There we go. If Bluno ends up getting killed, then you could bring out Wanze. Wanze could pop something. Like, there's many different things that you could do. And so purely for that reason, I think air door is the way that Lucci wants to go going forward. Now, in terms of black versus yellow, hey, man, I'm with you on that. I cry every time. Getting back-to-back yellow mommed absolutely hurts. It hurts. It sucks. It happens. Yeah, yellow's a super hard matchup for Lucci. So, hey, man, if you're playing in online regionals, hopefully people aren't playing yellow and you could play your Lucci deck and pop off. If you're playing offline, I could definitely see a lot more yellow. But then again, do the Katakuris want to go up against the Zoros? So maybe not. But it's kind of a coin flip in terms of what you face. But I do think, obviously, you're still very much going to struggle against yellow. You're still not favored against Zoro by any means. But it is playable and it is winnable with the air door engine, in my opinion. I hope that answers your question. And again, thank you everybody. Thank you everybody for leaving the questions. And no problem, Spiffy Bard. No problem. Kekfila, how's it going, Kekfila? Thank you so much for joining the stream and asking a question. And again, if anybody wants to give their take, please let me know. I'm just trying to catch up with chat. Don't worry, I'm going to get to everybody. I promise. Okay. Okay. So Kekfila said yo. Ballistic Moose then says, I think they hit the wrong decks. Okay, nice take. Let's get into it. Ballistic Moose, let's get into it. I think they hit the wrong decks, not because of Law and Zoro being better or anything, but because they're from OPO1 and have been in the meta for far too long. That's my opinion. Okay, Moose, I like it. And hey, again, if you want to hop onto Discord and kind of get your thoughts out there and go more in depth, I'm more than welcome to have you on the stream. But I'll just talk about that. That's an interesting take. So you're saying that they should have hit the decks that have been around longer to kind of make way for the newer decks, right? Keep things fresh. That's an interesting take. And I actually think that, like, that's not a copium take. Like, I could definitely see it. Like, a lot of card games do that. I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh, for example, is a game that does that all the time, right? That's how they make room for all the new sets. They phase out the previous stuff by just putting them on the restricted list and then releasing a new archetype that's even more broken, so everybody goes to that. And so, I've been a proponent of saying that Zoro and Law, in their current form, will always be meta. They screwed up, and this is going to be a separate video for me. They completely screwed up when they made these two leaders because their ability is generic, which means anytime a OP red card is printed, Zoro gets stronger. Anytime a OP red or green card with a 5 cost of less is printed, Law gets stronger. It's just broke, and Law already breaks the rules of the game. Top Law decks are running cards just from OPO2 and OPO4. That's how broken these leaders are. Now, again, I'll go more in depth in another video. However, if you take a look at how they're printing cards now, right? So if we take a look at the Alabasta cards, all of the cards that they're really printing in red are now saying, like, if your leader has Alabasta type or whatever. So this one doesn't. You may rest a character and give your active leader. But yeah, you're obviously not going to lower your Zoro's ability. Basically, they're putting abilities in these red cards to make it so Zoro doesn't want to play. And I think that that's a design flaw that they made with Zoro that they're going to have to do going forward. Everything's going to have to be like if your leader is Alabasta, or it just really hinders you if you use it for Zoro. So that's unfortunate. I think an easier solution would just be to Arado Zoro so he can only work on Straw Hats. That's just my opinion. But I think that's a pretty good take on your part. Too Rare to Die. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream, Too Rare to Die, and welcome. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Your question is, do you think Makino, Otama, Radbeam, and Curly Dadan would have been better bans overall? Okay, so we kind of talked about Curly Dadan overall. Now, you said bans. Do you mean bans as in permanently, like putting it on the restricted list, like Kabaj and Moby Dick? Because I don't think all of those cards need to be banned. Now, if you meant restricted, I mean, you could make arguments for it, but like, Radical Beam? Okay, so Radical Beam, I think Radical Beam at 1 is perfectly justified and fine. Even if they ban Radical Beam, I could say okay, like no problem. But I think it's fine at 1 because it's so searchable, right? Like, it could be searched by Nami. It could be searched by Buggy. It could be searched by Striker, right? Like, so there's different ways to pull it even if you only have 1 copy. And so because of that, I feel that having it at 1 is fine. And it doesn't need to be completely banned. So that's my take on that. Now, when it comes to Curly Dadan, I talked about that a little bit earlier. But then Otama, right? Like, I feel like, man, Ace just gets so much residual damage from this. And I think Otama's strong, but I don't think that Otama is what's making Zoro top. I don't think Otama's the reason of what's making these very powerful decks like Law top. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, they're strong, but I don't think that this is the reason why those decks are so good, if you can get what I'm saying. And so because of that, I don't think that Otama needed to be restricted. I feel like that's going a step too far. If they really want to kill the deck and take it out of the meta, sure. But I don't think so. Makino, the same thing as well. I mean, Makino's a very, very powerful card, very versatile. But my stance is the same on Makino as well. I guess we'll have to see how the meta continues to develop, but as of right now, I don't think they made the wrong decisions to hit that. Yo, Winston, how's it going, Winston? Thank you for showing up. Thank you for tuning into the live stream. Thank you for supporting the channel. I really appreciate it. Tosu says, I think Whitebeard is A tier after the nerf. Yeah, I mean, I think Whitebeard's still playable. Like, some people think Edward Newgate's just gonna be complete trash. I don't know. He still breaks the game, right? Like, his ability is still broken. Innately. Is he going to be worse? Yes. Like, that is objective fact. Like, he is no longer a boogeyman. I think we can all agree on that. I don't think he's gonna drop down to like garbage tier though. Will we see a lot of people topping with him? Probably not. Will we see people that can get into like a top 64 or something like that and get some prizing with Edward Newgate? I'm sure of it. You know, that's just my opinion. My bad if you already said something about it, just jumped in. No problem, too rare. The bans hurt Croc. No more easy lunch. Respect with yo. I feel you, homie. Yo, homie, I feel you, bro. Okay. So as you know, Crocodile's my main deck, right? Until Blackbeard comes out. And so, bro, it feels so nice. Especially even in this format, right? It feels so nice when you play Croc and you can spin stuff. It feels so nice when you could play 3,000 Worlds, right? And spin stuff. It feels so nice in the next set when we get access to Red Rock and you could say goodbye. And I don't know why it's not coming up, but you guys know what I'm talking about. Let me type red. Okay, that's not going to come up. What if I just type in rock? Okay, there it is. You feel me? So I feel you on that. I feel you on that, homie. There's no more free lunch. And now we're going to have to go up against more yellow because you know more katas are going to come out of the woodworks. And when we go up against yellow, we cry. So yeah, you are right. Croc and Lucci. Bro, this list, unironically, keep saying Zoro. But it should have Crocodile and Lucci. Thoughts? Yay or nay, chat? Tosu says Whitebeard have Strawbeard build and play a very, very aggro. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying, right? Like, they still have Strawbeard if they want to fall back on that. And I'm sure that they'll, like, someone's going to cook up something, right? Someone's going to cook up something. I'm sure of it. Bro, I wouldn't be surprised if somebody can cook up something to use with this card. And I'm memeing here, of course. But I wouldn't be surprised if somebody comes up with a build where all of a sudden this card is played. I mean, who knows, man? It's Whitebeard, man. Like, it's gonna be so hard to kill him. Like, we've had versions with Vista, we've had versions with Squad, we have versions that played Ace, that didn't play Ace, versions that played Speed Jill, we had versions that, like, there's just so many versions. We had Boatbeard, right? Like, we had 9beard drop, right? Like, that Thatch was implemented. Like, before people weren't playing Whitebeard Pirates, now everyone's playing Whitebeard Pirates. Like, the deck evolves so much that it's just like, bruh. You know? Okay, new question. We got Panda here. Oh, did I scroll too much? Here we go. Panda. Hey, Panda. First and foremost, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for supporting the stream. I really appreciate it. And thank you for leaving a question. Do you think the new OPO5 Sakazuki leader is better than the old one from ST6? I will be honest. Is it here? Huh, it's not here. Let me see if I can find it. Would you be able to tell me what the ability is, and I'll come back to your question? I actually have no clue what it does. So I do apologize. I will get back to your question. Just leave like the ability, copy and paste the ability, and I'll give you my opinion. Too Rare to Die said, I switched back to Strawbeard with Makino and Firefist, still feels decent. See, yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like, it's gonna take time, right? Like, it's still a shock to everybody. And like, yeah, he got worse. He got worse. That's a fact. But like, I don't know. I feel like there is still a chance for him to be good. Okay. JB says, I had a slightly different thought. Since hyper-aggressive Zora will still be a thing, I was thinking Meteor, Volcano, and Shockwave will become a lot more relevant, similar to the build that got third. Okay. Hey, that's fair. That's fair. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, homie. So yeah, so you're talking about, where is it? Meteor, Volcano, being able to KO stuff. And again, this is good because you don't have to trash cards from your hand. And then, of course, we have Impact Wave as well. That's a fair take. That's a fair take. If you want to play more of the Navy Focus engine. I think that's completely fair. Playing Impact Waves, playing Meteor Volcanoes, right? Instead of Spandam, putting in the homie Brand New, my fellow bald boy. Even though, hey, Brand New's not fully bald, but that boy's balding, man. Come on home. Join me. Join Blackbeard TCG and come on. Look at his hairline, bruh. You kidding me? Shave that shit off, homie. Hey, I'm bald, so I can talk shit. I can talk shit, you feel me? One of the best things about being bald is seeing people that are balding and then saying, bro, you should go bald. Because, hey, man, if you could pull it off, you could pull it off like me. You feel me? I have the utmost confidence, and I'm handsome as fuck. And I'm bald. Hey, Brand New, man. Shave that thing off. Come home. But, yeah, you have a good point. You have a good point. Brand New. You sub him instead. Of course, you still have access to the Kobe's, to Pop, and all of those things. Hey, man, you might be onto something. I might need to do a little bit of play testing. You might be onto something. Moose says, honestly, it felt like the CP engine was a better matchup against Whitebeard. Navy just wins in the mirror. Fair. That's fair. Yeah, overall, right now, just based off my testing and the conversations that I had, like I said previously, I still think Air Door Lucci is the way to go. Of course, I could be completely wrong. I haven't topped in any major event, right? I'm just a content creator. I talk to people that top. I play the game. This is just my opinion. I think Air Door is better for now, but JJ has a great point about implementing those other Navy cards and really focusing on that board control aspect of it. So I think that's viable too. I just need to play it. So I feel like I can't give like a true valid like, oh yeah, this is definite, because one, like, I'm not a top player, and I also don't believe that you need to be a top player to have opinions. It's like the same thing in sports where people go like, oh, how do people have opinion with sports and they're not a professional athlete? Like, that's not how it works, right? You can have opinions on things. You could be a historian of things in different aspects and have opinions rather than having to be able to actually play at the highest level. If you look at coaches in basketball, for example, not all the best coaches. Look at Greg Popovich, who's considered to be one of the greatest coaches of all time. You look at Eric Spoelstra, the coach of the Miami Heat, who is somebody that is one of the best coaches currently right now as well. Have these guys played at the highest level? No, they haven't, but they're some of the great coaches. You do not need to be able to play or perform at the highest level to have opinions and thoughts on things. So I just want to put that out there because I feel like a lot of people go like, oh, this person didn't perform. Who cares about their opinion? That's just my take on it. Okay, let's keep reading through chat. I'm getting to everybody, so I apologize if I'm just going through order, guys. So if I'm not ignoring anybody, if I haven't answered your question, don't worry. I'm going to get to it. I promise. Okay. And again, I want to say thank you, truly, from the bottom of my heart, from all you guys, for showing up. I know that this is really short notice, but I appreciate you guys coming in and we can have some conversations. I really enjoy it because you guys know I love talking, and I could talk all day about things I enjoy, and I enjoy this game so much. And having you guys here with me, hey man, this is the One Piece. This is a blast. Okay, so let's keep reading. Honestly, I felt like, okay, we read that. JJ said the Navy package helps against yellow, but interesting thought. Yeah, and I mean, we're going to see more kata. We are going to see more kata. We all know that. Especially as we head into OPO4. But in OPO4, I'm probably going to pick up Rebecca, man. I know. I don't want to be a tier whore. But yo, that deck is fun to play. And like, I'm smooth brain, right? I'm smooth brain and I'm not that smart and I'm not that good at the game. And so Rebecca, don't get me wrong, it's not like she's a brain off smooth brain deck, but I feel like she leans more to those smooth brain individuals rather than Lawwood, if you understand what I'm saying. Tosu says you could play with too much rush characters, example Shanks, and go for easy games. You know what's funny? Okay, so I've been playing some Ace and I've been liking Shanks and Ace, man. I've been liking Shanks and Ace. I'll show you guys my list at some point. And you guys can give me opinions. But I think Ace might still be playable. Is he gonna be that amazing? I don't know, but I think Ace could still be good. And no worries calling me JJ. I know my name is weird. I respect. Too Rare to Die says that's exactly what I did. Went back to Zoro, Luffy, Ace, Shanks still does work well. Tosu says, yeah, I think solo Whitebeard is fine for not getting lethaled. Yep, I agree. Zoro's top tier since OP01, and in every new set he gets a buff. Law 2, exactly. Except OP04, right? In OP04, nothing got printed that's usable. And again, this is what's going to keep happening going forward. And I'm going to make a video on this. The only way that they can change this is if they errata Zoro. If not, they have to keep printing cards like this so Zoro cannot get more powerful. Because Zoro and Law can effectively just play OP02 decks and OP04. Do you see why that's a problem? So yeah, like they don't need, if they get more tools, they get better. So they literally have to not be able to print tools. Too Rare to Die says, I appreciate your take, mate. I was just thinking about ways that they could hit red without targeting just Beard. Yeah, that's fair. I think errata to Zoro and Law would be the best. Yeah, you know, I think Zoro's a lot easier to errata, but when it comes to Law, how would you guys errata him? Let me know. Let me know in the chat. Because I really don't know how that would how Law could get errated. It's tough. The way they printed this, it's really difficult. Moose says the problem with Makino is that it's 2K. Should not have any combo power for that effect. Hey, that's fair. That's a valid take because she is very strong. You know, she is very, very strong. So you're not wrong. I could definitely see why people are saying Makino should be hit because, like, why the hell does she have a 2K counter when her abilities is cracked? And then you look at a homie like Gordon, whose ability is just as good. Oh, it's with an O. Why did I type Horden? Right? His ability is just as good, but he doesn't have counter. So you know what, Moose? You're right. I mean, that's a valid take. I can't get mad at you for that. I can't say, what are you saying, Moose? Like, no, you're right. That's true. That's true, because Gordon is cracked. So you're telling me that Gordon can have no counter with that ability? But then when it comes to Maki, you know, she can get a 2K counter? Hey, man, you might be converting me. You might be converting me, and that's why I like this stream, man. That's why I like having you guys here, because you guys can give me your opinions. Hey, man, ban Makino. Okay, nah. Okay, they don't have to go that far and ban her. But hey, man, I would be hey, if they hit her, it is what it is. You feel me? They need a router for sure. Okay. Just catching up on chat. Whitebeard boohoo now. Hey Sauce, welcome to the channel. Welcome. Juice Zero or Zero. Yeah, Zero. I'm gonna call you Juice. Got the gin and juice, you feel me? Juice, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for leaving your question. Really appreciate it, and thank you so much for the support. Juice says, I wish I could have tried Whitebeard before there was any bans. Damn! Oh, that sucks. So you weren't able to try Strawbeard or Boatbeard or this new version? That's definitely unfortunate. I mean, hey man, it's a boogeyman deck. But don't worry. Play Zoro now. If you wanted to feel the power of something OP like Whitebeard, play Zoro now. I don't know, unless Whitebeard is your favorite character and now you feel like he's hit and like that's your favorite character and you're like, what the hell? I didn't get a chance to play with my favorite leader. Then I sympathize with you. I empathize with you because it's like, yeah, like I imagine Blackbeard's my favorite character of all time in One Piece. I'm playing him and then like he just gets nerfed and like that's my favorite character. It's like, what the hell? So like before the Moby ban, LOL, the full power that Asia felt. Yeah, that's true. I do kind of wish we got to feel that full power. Best errata for Zoro is 1 Don 1K only to Strawbeard characters. Or Strawbeard. To Straw Hat characters. Yep, I agree, Tosu. Too Rare to Die agrees with Moose and says Makino's genuinely too good in too many red decks on top of being a 2K counter. That's my problem with Otama as well. Hey man, like I said, you guys are bringing up some good points. JJ says, sorry, excuse me. JJ said, oh yeah, huge nerf to Croc and Lucci. It's a stealth buff to Film Kindle. That's true. B-Rye, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you so much, and I appreciate you supporting the channel. B-Rye says, I'm still going to play Whitebeard. Respect. I feel like I'm the only person who played Whitebeard for the low and the love and not just the tops. Hey, I respect that. Good on you, man. Play what you enjoy. Like I said, I'm a crocodile enjoyer. I have fun playing Odin, man. I have fun playing Odin, and so I'm going to keep playing Odin, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's a card game, and you play to have fun. only one person can get first place, right? Only 4 people can get top 4, etc., etc. The line goes down. So at the end of the day, like, how many people are actually topping? And of course, if you want to top, you play the top tiers. But if you want to just have fun, play what you like, man. Play your Whitebeard and prove people wrong, bro. Prove people wrong and still top with it after the nerfs. Respect to you. Moose has his ability to -1 character and activate main and discard 1. They're gonna have cards that have discard effects for it to be good, honestly. Okay, so let me read this again. His ability is -1 to 1 character and activate main to discard, draw 1. Okay, that's interesting because in that way you can filter, right? You can filter and get cards with counter into your hand, which is good. Obviously, again, with black, we now see that with black, there's cards that have abilities based on how many cards are in your discard. So having that be able to kick in and add that extra card into your trash, into your discard pile, will definitely have value there. So I could see that. And then just having the -1 feels nice because I'm sure anybody that's played black has been in situations where just like, damn, I wish I could just have one more -1 so my Sakazuki could pop off. Or I wish I could have one more -1 so that way when I attack with my Kuzan, it's -5 instead, and then I can pop it with a Garp or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So things like that, I'm not gonna lie, there's times where I feel like, damn, like, should I play Marineford? Because it's like, if I play Marineford and I hit and I get that one -1, there's a chance, right? So I could definitely see it being good. Is it better than the previous Sakazuki? Just based off that ability from what you're saying and how I think the direction black is going, I would say yes. I do think that that would be the case. Gotta love his bot spot on his foil. Yeah, that's so true. Nah, bro, he still has hair. Yo, Juice. He needs to go bald, homie. As a bald man, this boy needs to go bald. That boy's bald, man. Just join the stream. Is Barrier going to be good in CP9? Barrier. What's Barrier? What is Barrier? CP9. I don't know what Barrier is. Is that an OPO5 card? Barrier? Oh, that's the card in OPO4 for Vivi, right? Or not Vivi, sorry, for Rebecca, if I'm correct. Here. Up to 1 of your leader or characters gain plus 2,000 power this turn. Then if you have 15 or more cards in your trash, this card gets an additional 2k. So, I mean, I guess it's kind of like a Radical Beam, right? I can see this being good. It's kind of like a Radical Beam. Now, is it optimal? Who knows? It needs to be playtested. But I don't think this is a bad card by any means. Especially if you use the Air Door engine. Like, you're definitely going to have 15 cards in your trash. So, Barrier could be live and then you have a Radical Beam, essentially. So, this isn't bad. I like Barrier. I think it'd be good. He has a few good years left, man. Cul-de-sac hairline is the best kind. Yo, you guys are jokes. You guys are hilarious. What do you think of OPO4 Queen and Blurple leaders for OPO4? Says Felix. First and foremost, Felix, welcome to the stream. And thank you for supporting the channel and tuning in. I really appreciate it. So yeah, Felix, if you don't know, I'm a huge Queen enjoyer. Huge Queen enjoyer. So I'm going to be playing Queen in OPO4. I've already bought most of the singles that I need for yellow that I'll need for Queen. So I will be playing Queen. I think that Queen is very good. Is it the best? I don't think so, but it's almost kind of like a knowledge check in a way. And it's very grindy, which I enjoy. So I'm definitely going to be playing Queen. I think Queen's good. Now, in terms of the Blurple leaders, I still don't think that they're quite there yet. I could be wrong. Not Croc. Unfortunately, I still don't think that I don't think Blurple Croc will be that much better. I don't think blue or purple yellow Croc will be that much better. And then also, if we look at Kaido, I don't think that will be that much better either. So, unfortunately, I don't think the love is there, but I do think Queen definitely can top and perform, and it has topped already in Asia. Thank you for the question. I hope I pronounced this right. I do apologize truly if I get it wrong. I will try my best. Abdul Latif, hopefully I pronounced that correctly. Abdul Latif, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. I really appreciate it. You say that, what's your opinion on Luffy Gear 5 and OPO5? Good question, because I have the tab right here. So let's talk about it. Yeah, so first and foremost, chat, how expensive is this card going to be? Over, under 1.5k USD? Over or under? Let me know. I'm curious. This card art is sick, bro. The fact that in the background it has Gear Secondo, Gear Third, Gear Fourth, and now Joy Boy himself, Gear 5. And it has the iconic pose of him laughing like, hey man, this shit's gonna be litty. Now that's my opinion on the card art. Like, this is beautiful. I would love to have this in real life. I would love to have this in real life, fellas. Now, in terms of the card ability itself, it's interesting, right? Because you look at purple, and clearly they're trying to make purple better. Because purple is the weakest color in my opinion. They're trying to make purple better. But then I think about use cases for this card as well. I'm sure there's definitely going to be use cases. The fact that you can take an extra turn seems cracked, right? Because especially if you're a board established, you can just pop off, do everything that you have to do, all that good stuff. Attack, and then drop your Luffy, right? And then on your turn again, then attack. I think that's cool. Obviously, you don't get the shenanigans of like being able to Kaido to make them lose life, playing Luffy, and then having a turn again and then swinging, because obviously when you use Kaido ability, you have to send Dawn back. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I feel like it's going to be situational. How many copies will you run? I don't know. I want to see what other cards are going to be in purple OPO5, because I do think that it does allow lethal thresholds, right? It opens up new lethal lines. So, sorry, excuse me. So I think it's a cool card. I think the art's amazing. I think it's situational. I don't think it's too broken yet. But for a 10 cost card, I think it's great. Sorry, I've just been talking so much. Need some water. Mike, welcome to the chat, Mike. Thank you so much for the support. Mike says, errata to Dadan so it can only search mountain back. Yo, Mike, don't kill me, Mike. Yo, Mike said errata. Yo, Mike is jokes. Mike says errata Dadan so it can only search mountain bandits. Nah, Mike is jokes, bro. Yo, so it can only search Dogra and Macro. That's it. Yo, my boy. Yo, do it, yo, Bandai, please nerf it. That is hilarious. But what's Windmill Village? I don't even know what the hell Windmill Village is. Oh, Makino. I mean, I think that's fair, but then it's like, you'll only have those cards in the deck? I don't know. But that's jokes, because I was like, I don't even know what mountain bandit cards there are. And then I forgot Magra's Mountain Bandits and Dogra. I'm like, so you basically only be able to search 3 cards. Nobody plays this. So you'd actually only be able to search 8 cards. So this is going to whiff more often than not, which basically makes it shit. So at that point, just fucking ban her. You know what I mean? That's funny, though. Eddie says they need to increase the cost to activate a Vex. Only resting 2 is too small of a price for such a game-changing effect. Are you talking about for, wait, for who? Oh, for Law, right? You're talking about for Law. Errata for Law, if I'm correct. They need to errata it, so they change it from 2 to like what? But then again, it's like, what would they change it to? Like, you could take the air door approach and say air door is balanced because it's 4 costs to play a 5 cost. So would you say Trafalgar Law would get bounced if they changed it to 4 and it costs 4 Dawn to play a 5? But then how does that feel when you... I mean, yeah, that's fair. What would be your opinion then? What would be a nice number? And thank you so much for supporting, Eddie. Red Gamer says black and red are the only colors to change your opponent's card value and KO those characters. Hope they add value changes in other colors. I feel like they wouldn't do that, Red Gamer. And again, thank you for supporting the channel and leaving your comment. Yeah, I don't think that they would do that, because like that's kind of the identity to those colors. And so you start implementing it in other colors and it kind of loses its identity. That's just my opinion. Jude Bomb says, what is the best OPO4 deck to go from playing Kuro and CP9 into OPO4? Okay, I can't speak about Kuro because I haven't played Kuro. I think I played it once and that was it. So I do apologize for that. I can't speak on Kuro. For Lucci, I feel like you could still play Lucci in the next set, but you just implement some of the Dressrosa cards, right? We kind of talked about Barrier being a thing because you're going to have 15 cards in your trash all the time, so it's kind of like a Rad Beam. I also think that having Barto as a 2k counter blocker is actually really good, and then I think Sabo is a really good splashable card in any black deck. So I think that if you still want to play Lucci, you can bring those into your build. Now, in terms of what leaders that you would transition to from playing that, I don't think that there's anything in Kuro that could be used in OPO4 to my knowledge. So unfortunately, I don't think that there's anything there. And then also for black, especially if you're playing CP9, there isn't really anything that Rebecca can utilize, even though they're both being black, because Rebecca is essentially just going to utilize all the new Dressrosa cards. And there isn't really anything from Rob Lucci in itself. So what I would recommend is if you still want to play your OPO3 leaders, play your Rob Lucci and splash in some of those cards that I mentioned, right? Splash in your Sabos, splash in your Bartos, right? Put in some barriers, play test with those, see how that feels, see if you enjoy it. And if not, just make a full switch to Rebecca if you want to play black, and if you want to play green, make a full switch to Doflamingo. That's my opinion. Juice says, I think they have to bring more searches and consistency cards to other colors because Zero never has a bad turn. Or Zoro never has a bad turn. That's very true. I completely agree with you, Juice. Completely agree. Whitebeard also has a great curve, while Cat is just praying he gets good triggers. That's fair. That's fair. But I do agree with that. I do want to see more consistency. I mean, it's funny because like my best Crocodile deck, in my opinion, that I've built has been Impel Down Croc, and that's purely because I have access to Buggy. Right? And Buggy makes the deck so much smoother. You have a play on turn 1 going first or second, right? Like it opens up the game so much more, right? And then even now in OPO4, if you want to play more Anima Kingdom focus, right? Where is it? You have Who's Who, right? So yeah, I do agree. We need to see more searchers. Silmore, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for leaving your question. Silmore says, what do you want the Blackbeard leader to look like? Okay, that's great. I'm actually going to be doing a series. You guys hear it here first. I'm actually working on this video right now. Like I have it in editing. But I will give you a little bit of a teaser of what I want Blackbeard to be like. So I won't tell you like the color or anything like that because I want to save all that juicy stuff for a video. I'm going to be starting a series called like I don't know what the name's going to be, but it's going to be based on what if this leader exists or what will this leader look like, right? Because that's endless content, right? I could say that about any character. What would a Usopp leader look like? What would a Chopper leader look like? What would a Shiryu leader look like? What would a Kobe leader look like? You know what I mean? Like it's endless content. So with Whitebeard himself, and this is just my take, you guys can call me cooked. Okay, you guys could say like it's too OP, I'm just overdoing it. But hey man, I'm Blackbeard TCG. I think, and again, this is gonna be my video, I might tweak it a little bit, but I think Blackbeard should have an ability where when he attacks, if his attack goes through, your opponent cannot use their leader ability. Because you know how when Whitebeard touches you, right? When Whitebeard touches you, you can't use your Devil Fruit power, right? So, what if he gets a successful attack off? Kind of like Nami. When Nami gets a successful attack off, she gets to mill. When Whitebeard gets a successful attack off, your opponent's leader cannot use their leader ability next turn. Is that broken or is that balanced? Because then now it forces your opponent to drop cards out of their hand, guarantee every time you swing with your leader because they want to use their leader ability, or they have to think like, okay, I'm not going to use my leader ability next turn, fair. But like how broken would that be against a law player, for example? You know what I'm saying? Like how cracked would that be to just turn off Law's ability? But like that fits his power fantasy, right? So that's just a little teaser. I got a lot of ideas that's coming in the video. But that's a little teaser. But thanks for that, some more. Great question. Miles, how's it going, man? DJ Miles, what's up? That receding hairline is worse than this band list. Yo, let's just look at it again. I swear we looked at brand new like 5 times already. Oh, I spelled it wrong. It's brand new. This hairline is worse than this list, huh? Respect. 4, I think the restriction will be lifted set 4. Oh, Blur Wolf, first and foremost, Blur Wolf, thank you so much for tuning into the stream. Blur Wolf says, I think the restriction will be lifted. Set 4 for English version. What do you think? Good question. I kind of talked about it in my video. I think that Marco gets released back to 4 in OPO 4. I think Radical Beam stays at 1. I could see Edward Newgate coming back to 4, but I wouldn't be surprised if it stayed at 4. I would be surprised if Marco stays at 1. Sorry, I wouldn't be surprised if this stays at 1. But I would be surprised if Marco stays at 1 next set. I could easily see this going back up to 4. Again, obviously, like, VV uses this. Ace got hurt really badly by not having access to Marco anymore. So they can implement that back in. Marco isn't the reason why Zoro's strong, and Zoro's going to be the most dominant. So I'd like to see something else on this list rather than Marco or an Arata if they really are worried about Zoro, for example. And I do think 9Beard is a problem. But yeah, then a lot of people also complain about 10 Mom, which we'll talk about a little bit later too. But yeah, Blurwolf, that's my opinion. I think that Marco will come off. I think Radical Beam will stay on the list. And I think Edward Newgate has a chance to come off. Jude Bump says, what decks are broken now? Do you think are going to fall off in OPO 4? So what decks are broken right now? I mean, the decks that are broken right now that are going to fall off, I don't think they're going to fall off in OPO 4. I think that they're still going to be good, right? There's still going to be Zoro, but Zoro, at least from my testing as well as people that I've spoke with, has a little bit of a rougher matchup. Or even Law. I think that they have a little bit more of a rougher matchup against Rebecca. And so with more people picking Rebecca, myself included, I could see that having a fall off in terms of players playing the leader. I don't think it will have a fall off with the deck being bad, if you get what I'm saying. So I still think Zoro and Law are really strong. Then you look at the other decks. I think Lucci is a really good deck on this format. Obviously, it got nerfed by the ban list as a result of less Whitebeard. But I think that Rob Lucci as well is a deck that will kind of fall off because if you're playing black, you're probably going to be playing Rebecca. Those are the only things I could say that are really good now that will kind of get worse. Katakuri is going to get stronger. So if you're playing him in this set, you're going to enjoy playing him next set. Eddie says, and again, I'm gonna get to every comment. I do apologize, guys, if you guys feel like I'm kind of going on. I want to give everybody an opportunity to kind of like read everything and actually give my honest opinion. I thank every single person that's tuning in. You guys rock. I know it was really short notice. Are you guys enjoying this type of discussion? Let me know, guys. Let me know in the chat. Because if you guys are, I could do more of these because I'm having a blast doing this. Again, I could do this every day if I wanted. I'm not going to. I don't have the time to. But I'm having a ton of fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you guys are enjoying the conversation. And I hope you guys are having a great weekend, man. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. I hope you guys are all having an amazing day. And hopefully, if not, I can make it a little bit better. Now, look, let's read the next comment. Eddie says, hey, Bears, I've been following for a minute. Is there any way you can run some matches? Bears. Don't know what bear. Were you talking to me or somebody else in the chat? But if you're talking to me and you want to run some games, then yeah, I'm always down. Okay, so this was my question about Luffy, about the over or under, right? So with Luffy, under. Wow, so you said under. Miles thinks it's over. I think it's over. 1.2k. Rosendo says 1.2k for Luffy. Rip my wallet. Under. So you think it's about 1,250. Luffy over 1.5k easy. Like, I'm not going to front. I see this easily as a 2K card. I could see this card being 2K. Easily. Yo, what if they short print it? No, they wouldn't do that. They wouldn't randomly introduce that in this set. I highly doubt it. If they ever like short printed it so it was like even more difficult to get manga rares. Oh my gosh. Then this card would just... Literally the only manga card I want. Over around 2K. I agree, B-Rive. I think it's 2K. Moose thinks it's only going to be 600 to 800. Wow, really? Really? That set's definitely going to be printed a lot, especially considering the consistently raise of supply. That's a good point, Moose. I think the Kaido secret is broken. Oh, this one. Let's talk about it. Okay, what do you think makes this one broken? So for those of you that don't know, I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, this Kaido says that if your opponent has 3 or less life, you draw 4 cards. Drawing 4 cards is absolutely powerful, of course, because what if you drew into 4 2K counters? What if you drew into, say you play this on 10, right? You draw 4 cards. And then you're able to get Red Rock off that. Now your next turn, you're able to Red Rock, or you get a Mihawk. You spin back something. You can swing with a 12k body, right? You're playing Crocodile. You can bounce something back up, like with those 4 extra cards. Like it allows you to kind of play greedy, knowing you're going to get 4 cards anyways, right? So I think that this card's going to be really good. What decks do you guys think that you could play this in? Because like I'm obviously, as a Crocodile player, I'm obviously thinking about Crocodile, but obviously Nami, this could be good in, right? Because Nami now has a late game card. Nami can play this and draw 4. You know what I'm saying? And then now Nami has a shit ton of counters. Now, obviously, Nami wouldn't have Dawn available to use those counters on the next turn, which is what makes her so powerful. And by turn 5, when this is played, you know, hopefully Nami's not already losing. And a lot of Nami players, correct me if I'm wrong, chat, but a lot of Nami players say that, you know, between turn 7, 8, and 9, that's when you ideally should win. And if not, you've lost the game. So, and of course, if you can win before then that's great. But typically, like, turn 7, 8, 9, like, that's, like, your win. So, like, when you think about it, you play this on 5, you have, like, 2 more turns to try to win. So, do you think, like, this is viable? Could you see a version where Nami attacks more, right? Like, using Belmere, or however you pronounce it, with Usopp's and with Zeph's, and try to really get those attacks in early and be aggressive, and try to win either by taking life or by decking out? Like, what do you guys think? Curious, chat. Are you going to make a tier list, Spiffy Bard? A tier list for OP04? I might. I mean, honestly, I'll be honest, Spiffy, like, I can make tier list okay, I'm gonna be completely real with you guys. I'm gonna be so real, okay? As a YouTuber, like, I do this for fun. Like, me doing this live stream right now, I'm not making any money. I literally could be doing anything else, right? Like, I could be playing the new Diablo 4 season right now if I wanted. That's probably what I'm going to do after the stream. I worked out earlier. I hopped on stream. I ate. I hopped on stream, and then I'm probably going to play some Diablo. If I wasn't streaming, I'd be playing Diablo right now. So I'm not getting anything out of doing this. This is a hobby. This is purely fun for me. But, obviously, at a certain point, YouTube also generates revenue. And I'll keep it so real. Tier list videos is free revenue. I don't know what it is, but people just love tier lists. And the sad thing is I can make a tier list video in like 50 seconds, man. Like, that's why I made that one video on my channel called like OPO3 tier list in 3 minutes or less, right? Like it's crazy when you think about it. But I could drag it on to 15 minutes and just get bare ad revenue. But I also think about you guys, because I also watch a lot of YouTube, and I'm like, bruh, get to the point. This doesn't need to be a 12 to 15 minute video. Like, it could be 3 minutes. And so I try to be generous to my viewers as well, to give them content that they're going to enjoy, but I also want to respect their time, because I'm very much the type of person that I respect time in my real life. Like, time is very important to me. And so because of that, I respect my viewers' time. But if I wanted to be a dick, yeah, I could spam tier list videos and just make bank off of it. Okay, not make bank, but like be able to like use that revenue for stuff. And so to answer your question, am I going to make an OPO4 tier list? I will, because I'm a YouTuber and it gets views. But I'll be honest, I don't enjoy making that content. I make it because like at the end of the day, I have to play the YouTube game, algorithm game. It's going to be something that people click on. And so that will hopefully lead to the other videos that I actually enjoy making. So yes, I will make one, but honestly, it's not my... I think tier list videos are so stupid, honestly. But again, it's free views. So as a YouTuber, if you make YouTube videos, you understand what I'm saying. Like, you know the game. You kind of have to play the game of YouTube. You know, it's kind of like playing around. It's kind of like playing around Jet Pistol and Trigger. you got to play the game. Sets up for potential baby Ace, Sabo, Luffy decks. I don't know. Mike, what is this in regards to? Let me scroll up. Mike was talking about the dad. I don't remember what Mike is talking about in regards to. I do apologize. Moose says, nah, make it canon only searches for Ace and Luffy cards. Wait, what are we talking about again? Shit. I forgot. I think Mike and Moose are talking about the same thing. But I forgot what I asked. Sets up for potential Ace, Sabo, and Luffy deck. And it also searches Ace and Luffy. I forgot what we were talking about. Shit. Remind me, chat. Remind me. Should errata Zoro to only give it Straw Hat Pirates 1k? I agree. No, we talked about that earlier. I completely agree. Ju says, I think the new 10 cost Luffy can run with starter deck 10 Luffy leader. So you play him, use the 10 cost effect, use a leader effect to add 1 Dawn, then 10 costs to another, then you get 2 more and have 4 Dawn. Wait, hold on, let me try to explain to understand this. So with the new 10 cost Luffy with the starter deck Luffy. Okay, so let me look at what the starter deck Luffy does again, because again, I haven't looked too far in depth into OPO 5 yet. So I'm just looking this up right now. So starter deck Luffy's ability. Wait, starter deck Luffy's ability or OPO 5 Luffy? If we're looking at starter deck Luffy, then starter deck Luffy's effect is if your field has 0 Dawn or 8 Dawn, add 1 Dawn. Okay, so I see what you're saying. So you would use 10 cost Luffy, right? So let's switch it over to Luffy. You use 10 cost Luffy, then you have 0. You get your turn again, but then you get 1 Dawn. So now you go from 10 Dawn to 1 Dawn, right? So that makes sense. And then 10 cost to add another Dawn. Okay, so you're at 2 Dawn. And then it goes back to your turn, and now you have 4 Dawn on your next turn. That's interesting. That's definitely interesting. For sure. Because you could pop off, do your shenanigans, or however you want before you play the Luffy, right? Attack, all of those things. Then you use this, send the Dawn back, right? Then you have 4 Dawn on your next turn. You could attach that to your Luffy leader, right? And this Luffy has 6,000 power. So you attach 4 Dawn, so now you have a 10k swing and a 12k swing. Holy shit, I like that idea. I actually like that idea. Holy shit, I didn't think of that. Good point. Good friggin' point. But I mean, this Luffy only has 3 life. This Luffy only has 3 life, man. That's crazy. Okay, even if every color had better searches, Zoro will still use them better. And Zoro searches are threats, utility, and other deck searches are generally just utility. That's a good point. With the exception of Film Nami, so printing searches in other colors, even good ones, don't fix the Zoro problem. That's true. It's kind of like buffing everything and not nerfing the top thing. That is true. Equipped Powerlifting and Gear Reviews. Yo, shout outs to Equipped Powerlifting and Gear Reviews. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream. I'm guessing you love powerlifting. You know, I'm more so into bodybuilding myself. I haven't ever gotten into powerlifting because I'm always scared of injury. I remember obviously with bodybuilding you also have to lift heavy, but I remember back in the day I was deadlifting, and for the most part, I mean, I'm pretty confident in my form, but clearly it wasn't good enough. And I tweaked something in my lower back when I was deadlifting. And after that, I was like, yeah, I'm never doing deadlifts again. And I'm never going heavy on deadlifts. And so ever since then, I've kind of been scared to do powerlifting. But like the aesthetic of powerlifting and like the dopamine I would assume that you get from powerlifting is probably so good. Like just knowing that you're lifting all this fucking strong, like heavy weight and you're strong. Oh man, but anyways, let me read your question. I think Yellow Big Mom with a focus on homies and triggers are under the radar. Interesting. I can't really comment on that too much because I haven't seen it. With the homies. Okay, that's interesting. Why do you say that? Why do you say it's under the radar? Silmore says, I think Blackbeard leaders should have banish tag. Okay. I mean, I wouldn't be wrong with that. So if Blackbeard hits you, then it's just automatic banish. I think that could work, but I don't know. I think I like my effect more. JJ says, I like that, but getting rid of leader ability on hit actually helps your Whitebeard opponent, which is Blackbeard's. That's true. That is true, yeah, because you wouldn't want to... Or, like, if they change it so it says, like, you may, right? So I have the option as the player. So then it's like, yeah, like, it's good against some matchups. It's good against Law, for example, but then it sucks against Whitebeard. I feel like that would kind of be balanced. Hi Caliber. Again, I'm trying to get to every comment. I know we've already been streaming for an hour. Thank you everybody. I'm trying to get to everybody. I'm almost caught up. Hi Caliber YouTube. Hi Caliber, welcome. Thank you so much for coming up to the stream. I really appreciate all of the support. So High Caliber says, do you think Ace is still viable after the ban list? So I was kind of talking about this earlier. I personally do. Now, am I the greatest player? No. But with that being said, let's go to red. Okay, so Ace is a toolbox deck, right? So what did Ace lose? So, in my opinion, Okay, let's look at One Piece top decks here. This is Japan's OP03, and let's look at Ace. So let's see how many Ace lists we're playing Whitebeard. So let's look at the first 3 here. So this one's playing Shanks, and I talked about this earlier. Hey, you guys heard me. I talked about this earlier. I'm a bigger fan of Shanks even before this ban list. Okay, like I think Shanks and Ace is amazing. So this one plays Shanks, no Whitebeard. This one plays Whitebeard, no Shanks. This one plays no Shanks, no Whitebeard. Okay, so this kind of proves my point. Like, you don't need 9-cost Whitebeard. So that specifically, in my opinion, doesn't hurt Ace. Radical Beam obviously hurts Ace, but I don't think it's the end of the world, right? We still have access to more guard points. We still have access to 4 guard points. And then we can still play. It opens up room for other events, right? Which I'll talk about in a little bit. So that's fine. Now, what does hurt is losing the Marco, right? Losing the Marco is what hurts the most. And so because of that, that's why I feel that Marco's probably going to get released once OP04 comes out, in my opinion. But I still think Ace could still be played, right? Like, I still think that there's a world where Ace could be played. You lose the Radical Beams, but now you have room for Round Table, right? You have room for Round Table. You could splash in 1 or 2 copies of that. You could put in copies of Flame Emperor as well, right? So you play a little bit more aggressive. You have copies of Seaquake. You're expecting to see more Law, more Zoro with lower power bodies. You play this, you can pop them, right? So again, are those matches gonna be extremely in your favor? No. I mean, Law kind of is whatever, you can win. Zoro's still gonna be a tough matchup for Ace. But I think that Ace can still definitely play the game, in my opinion, especially the Striker version. I think it's definitely still viable, in my opinion, and it's something I'm testing and having fun playing. Nami's a solitaire deck, really no combat. That's true. That's fair. That's fair in regards to the Kaido. That's what Red Gamer says. Moose says non-negating skills in this game would be so good as long as it doesn't hit on-play effects with counter plays or something like that. At this point, I think that what this game severely needs is a side deck. I agree. Side decking would be something that's really good. I think side decking would be something that would be fun. But then again, the games are just 30 minutes long, right? And it's impossible to get best of 3 in 30 minutes. So unfortunately, I don't think that would happen. But hey, I don't think that Whitebeard effect is too strong, man. The power of Kaido and Nami is it gives a body to KO bodies on board of the opponent's board and encourages them to actually play blockers against it instead of going hard aggro. That's true. Going from a draw 3 discard to draw 4 is insane. I agree, Chris Wynn. That's true. That is true. Like, I think it's really strong. Good stream. I need to head out. Okay, no problem, Rosendo. I hope you enjoyed the stream. Thank you so much. Can't wait for more Navy support at OP05 considering the new Sakazuki. I agree. I think we're going to have more Navy support. And who knows? That alone might make Smoker come back into relevancy. That alone might make Lucci also come back. Because I think Lucci's ability is pretty generic. So whenever good black cards are printed, Lucci will also be meta. So yeah, I'm excited about that as well. Oh, it's about Dadan. Oh, that's what you guys were talking about. Oh, about the searchers, right? Make it so it can only search Ace and Luffy cards for Dadan. Right, that's true. That is true. You're right. And it does set up the Ace plays and all that. Yeah, you're right. That's true. Purple popping off, possibly with purple leader Luffy. Solo purple Luffy is so disappointing, man. Oh, the OP05 Luffy, like the actual set Luffy? What does that Luffy do again? Let me pull it up on stream. Oh, no, I can't pull it up on stream, but I have it here in Discord. It says, once per turn, you can take the top card of your life to your hand, and the amount of Dawn on your field is 0 or 3. I mean, I guess that this is not that bad if you think about it. Because you get 1 Dawn, and you draw 1. So I don't think it's that bad, to be honest. Do you think Blurple Kaido will be meta in OP05 with the new Kaido? I don't know, man. Yeah, I don't know. Blurple Kaido, I feel like it's too difficult to work. It could, but I don't know. I don't think so. If I had a nickel for every time a blue Kaido made people consider purple Kaido, it's true. That's true. Because I just think about it, it's like this Kaido and like this new Kaido, I'd rather just play it in like Crocodile. You know what I mean? Like if I had to choose, like why would I play those Kaidos in this Kaido? That's kind of like where my brain goes. I understand that taking a life is costly, but thinking about New Gate later and how losing a life isn't consequential as we think it would be. Being able to ramp it down and drop this 10 cost Luffy ahead of your opponent could be huge. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I actually think that Luffy isn't bad. I think that solo Luffy, OPO5 Luffy, is actually a good card. Like, you're ramping and you're drawing. Like, I think it's great. It's like how Yu-Gi-Oh! Has cards that you have to pay life points. Yeah, that's true. Thank you for the answer. No problem, High Caliber. High Caliber says... Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah, I read H&H Gamer's question already. High Caliber says, yeah, I was playing around with Round Table. Edward Newgate popping... Oh, my God, I cannot read. Sorry. Yeah, I was playing Round Table with Edward Newgate popping Linlins on cooldown. So that being... Oh, yeah, that's true. Because you could use that with 9 cost Whitebeard. That's true, because then you just attach the Dadan and just pop stuff. But that being gone, so it hurts my list, but I could try Shanks build and see how that goes. Silmore says, oh, I'm almost fully caught up, by the way. Silmore says, I'm super hyped for the Enno leader. He's one of my favorite homies. Nice, nice. I feel like it would be interesting. I want to see what other cards they print in yellow, because right now I feel like it's a little bit memey. Like, I can't see how it would be good. But we haven't seen all the cards. So, like, it's way too early to say if it's going to be good or bad. But it's gonna be fun. It's definitely gonna be fun. At the end of the day, we're playing card games for fun. JJ says Blurple Kaido needs something like black, 5 cost of Garp, repeatable removal to enable Kaido's effect. Yes, I agree. I completely agree. If it had access to that, that'd be perfect. Because then you know that you're always getting your leader ability off. Because it feels like now to get your leader ability off, you also have to give up a Dawn, right? So it's like you can Kaido and then use King, for example, but you're still giving up a Dawn. You know what I mean? Like, it's things like that. So, I suppose it's really nice synergy with Gear 5. Yeah, I don't know. I like that Luffy. I like that Luffy, Curse Win. Blurwolf says 10 drop like Big Bomb are amazing. Is the reason why aggro decks like Zoro required for the game. Yeah, I mean, that is true, right? A lot of people say that. A lot of people say that Zoro was there to keep yellow in check. And now that Zoro isn't, now that Whitebeard isn't there, it's gonna be more difficult. But I do think Zoro is still very strong, so Zoro will still be able to handle those yellow decks. But again, this is a nerf, in my opinion, for Crocodile and Lucci, because there's gonna be less Whitebeards, which means it's gonna be more Zoros and more Kata players, which means it's going to be more difficult for those decks. Similar says discard for a life is actually pretty nice, but they have to give him something unique, as he's the first mono card leader with 4 life. Oh wait, is it discard or is it draw? Oh no, you're not discarding it, you're drawing it. Are we talking about the same leader? Oh, sorry, unless we're talking about a different leader. Because I'm talking about the 5 cost Luffy in OPO5, like not the one that's in the starter deck. But the 5 cost Luffy, you take the top card of your life to your hand. So you're drawing it like Whitebeard. And then you're ramping. Right? Is that the card we're talking about, or are we talking about something different? Oh, you mean the NL leader. Oh, yeah, you're talking about NL. Sorry, I'm stupid. My apologies. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. Like, I don't know. When I see leaders like this, I get excited. I don't know if you guys get excited too, but like, I just want to see something fresh. I want to see something new, right? And like, leaders like this, us not knowing what the potential it could be yet, it excites me. And I can only hope that we'll continue to get restricted lists. I can only hope that these previous decks continue or hopefully do not continue to be what people are playing, so we could see these decks on display from like a content creator point of view, from a casual player's point of view, as somebody that enjoys the game and spectating the game and watching very skilled players play on streams and stuff like that. Like, it does get boring when you just see the same Zoros off cooldown, right? And you see the same Whitebeards off cooldown. So when you see leaders like this that can change up the meta and hopefully change up of what we can see and spectate, I'm all for it. I'm 100% all for it. When's the Odin list coming out? Hey man, if you want, I can upload it. I can upload it tomorrow. I can upload my deck profile tomorrow. But to be honest, my list is basically identical to this list here. I'll show it to you on stream. But I can go more in depth in my video in terms of like how the deck works and why it's played. I think the guy even topped with it in OPO4 actually. Let's see Japan OPO4. It's literally just using OPO2 cards. Where's Odin? I think he topped. Yeah, this guy got first place here, but it was standard. It wasn't flagship, but yeah, this is the list. The thing is that this list loses, and again, I'll go more in depth in my video. It's actually so much fun, bro. I'll go more in depth in my video on how to play the deck and all that stuff. The only thing is that it gets cucked hard by Buggy because as you can see, everything in Wano is slash, right? You're not gonna hit Buggy with Yamato, obviously, because she's strike. So, or he's strike, whichever one. So, like, you have to run Shinobu because Shinobu can deal with Buggy. Like that's literally this deck's only answer to Buggy, which sucks. So yeah, that's that. But with that being said, the deck is very fun. My list is basically identical. What's the only difference? Is it identical? Do I play the carrots? I don't think I play the carrots. But yeah. This list is super fun. I like how other colors are really getting love. I completely agree, Monkey D. Juffy. Like 100%. Like they need to just stop giving red love and just give other colors love. Amu says, in my opinion, for side decks to work in this game, it'd have to be best of one pre-side. Oh yeah, okay, that's fair. I think that would work. Best of one pre-side would be perfectly fine. I completely agree with that. I think that would be a great idea. Okay, guys. Well, with that being said, I guess the stream is wrapping up. It doesn't seem like anybody wanted to hop in on the Discord to give their takes. But that's completely fine. I know that this is the first time I was doing it. I will have it better structured again going forward. So hopefully I will be able to get you guys in on Discord. And we can get you in on stream. I know I was kind of just reading your guys' opinions, reading your guys' questions, and you guys were hearing my thoughts. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Overall, yay or nay, guys. Let me know, yay or nay. Did you guys enjoy this? If you guys did, I definitely want to do more of this. And definitely get people in on Discord to give their take to the chat. Again, I did no promo for this. So next time I'm going to be doing promos building up to it. I'm going to be like advertising it on YouTube. I'll talk to some other content creators to see if they could give it a shout out to get more people to join in. And all of those good things. And so hopefully we can have a big turnout, get people in on Discord. They can give their opinions, all that stuff and have it really going. So I'm glad. Yeah, no worries, Juice. It's all good. There's going to be more of these. I had fun doing this, and that's what matters. I had fun doing it. And Moose, you enjoyed it? All right, great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. So yeah, I'm glad you guys enjoyed this. There definitely will be more. It will be better thought out. I enjoyed the conversation. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great rest of your afternoon, everybody. I will upload this out. I will have the VOD up as well, so if anybody missed it, they'll have the opportunity to watch. Once again, my name is Ryan, aka Blackbeard TCG. I hope all of you have an absolutely amazing weekend and hopefully I made your day a little bit better. Take it easy, guys. Peace.